What's that? You still haven't played Undertale?
Nah, man, I just really haven't gotten around to it.
Wrong answer! Let me be perfectly clear. Undertale is one of those games that needs to be experienced in order to truly appreciate what it is. I'm not going to go over a lot of story spoiler in this video, but if you want to go through Undertale without any spoiler whatsoever, now may be a good time to go to a different video. Or not, I don't care. The basic idea of the story is that humans and monsters have been at war for some time now, and every now and then, a human will fall into the underground. So good job, klutz. Though, to be fair, had you not tripped over into the hole, there wouldn't be a game, so thank you? Anyway, the first character you meet is a little flower named Flowey. Flowey the flower. He tells you about how love is spread in the underground. So nice. He even shares some of his little white friendliness pellets. Kind of a long name for pollen, but anyway, let's pick some up. Huh, my love didn't increase. And I'm almost dead. What the hell did you— Oh, holy shit! No.
Dude, wait, come back!
No thanks!
We're not done with the video!
Don't care!
Get your ass back in here!
Nobody told me that this would be a game of nightmares. Well, it's really not. Flowey's just kind of a dick. He's the guy at the party that comes up to you and says, "Hey, pull my finger." So you pull the finger, and then he punches you in the nuts and runs off cackling to himself while he eats chocolate pudding. Your goal is to get out of the underground. Rumor has it that the exit is guarded by a mysterious barrier to prevent monsters from leaving the underground. But you're a human, so in theory you should have no problem leaving, right? Well, wrong. Unfortunately for you, the king has instructed all monsters to be on the lookout for humans and capture them. I said I wasn't going to spoil the story for you, and that's true, but I do want to introduce you guys to some of the characters though, because one of the biggest draws to this game is definitely the lovable cast of characters. The first monster you meet that isn't a stupid plant is Toriel. She guides you throughout the first part of the game to get you situated with the game's mechanics. You could say she was giving you a tutorial. Pawn City! Anyway, she leaves you on your own for a bit. You've not left the room, have you? No! Yeah, I did. She is such a motherly character that she goes to make you a pie and prepare you a room for your stay. Cinnamon or butterscotch? Well, since butterscotch is f***ing disgusting, I'll go with cinnamon. After you leave the ruins to continue your adventure, you meet a couple of skeletons named Sans and Papyrus. Sans is a joker, always playing jokes or ready with a few puns. You could say he's a comic. Comic Sans. I made a font joke.
Ooh, you suck!
I love doing absolutely nothing. Oh, you and me both, Sans. He also has a second job as a hot dog vendor in Hotland. He's stacking head dogs. Sure, just don't drop— Oh, Jesus Christ! Papyrus is hellbent on becoming a soldier in the Royal Guard. Font joke. His love for puzzles shines early on. He is passionate about what he does. He even made a full suit of armor for a costume party, and hasn't taken it off since. It's freaking disgusting, dude! He has Sans set up a puzzle for you too. And by set up, I mean Sans lays a word search in front of you. Really? A goddamn word search? Undyne is a fierce warrior with one goal: capture the human. Underneath that heavy suit of armor lies a lovable, blunt, prideful wildfire. And she has a pretty sweet ass. You know, for a fish lady. She is the most difficult boss you will have faced up to that point, and figuring out how to peacefully defeat her takes a little patience. Or not, if you read what she says, which I didn't do, and I couldn't figure out why I was so terrible. My favorite character in this game is Dr. Elphys, even though she's just a huge nerd! The shy lab otaku has a type of social anxiety and some serious self-confidence issues, but she overcomes those in an effort to help you towards your goal. She's the type of person that has a difficult time talking to people face to face until someone brings up her favorite topic, anime. And then she just explodes with passion and talks your ear off about what she's into, which is what I think I like the most about her. Her passion for her hobbies. To be honest, I feel most connected with Elphys because while I only suffer from a very mild social anxiety and mild self-confidence issues, we could both talk for hours about what drives us. Anime for her and video games for me. And we also both like Undyne's sweet ass. These are the more major characters though. Every character you meet and interact with leaves an impression on you. From the rickety old turtle to the stressed out shop owner in the hotel, and even to the Thames. If ADHD could manifest into a living being, it would definitely be the Thames. Watch egg, Tem proud parent. It's hard boiled. Oh my god! There are parts in this game that are just absolutely goddamn ridiculous. going on a date with Papyrus, role-playing with Elphys. There's so much going on in this game that it's pretty goddamn fantastic. The character and story developments between each character is what makes the game feel so alive. It allows the player to really feel like a part of this big, crazy family. Undertale wants you to play it like everything can be resolved with love, laughter, and camaraderie, which is a pleasant idea, even if it is a little corny. And it's definitely a little unexpected because the first time I played, my RPG fan broke out of the game and just like, wait up! I mean, in most RPGs, you just come right in whacking dudes. That didn't sound good. Not too many RPGs let you show mercy on your opponent, so it's an interesting twist on an old school formula. In a pacifist run, you aren't killing anything. You know what that means? That means no experience points. None. Zip. Zilch. Nada. In other games, if you heard no XP, you'd be like, oh hell nah! That's because other games are designed around you getting experience. Undertale is designed so that you don't get experience points. If you do get XP though, don't worry. You shouldn't find the game too easy. The game looks like a traditional turn-based RPG, but it actually plays like an action RPG, sorta. Depending on what actions you take on your turn, you'll either just read a bit of amusing text to then spare your foe, or time your attacks to deal as much damage as you can. But on your opponent's turn, you take control of your soul and dodge their attacks, or try to survive various waves of punishment. Normal enemies have basic attack patterns, but it's the bosses that have the really interesting fights. For example, Undyne has you defending yourself from all different directions, and Pyrus has chilling blue attacks. That said, some bosses have ways of quick winning. For example, Moffat, Spider Cider, Greater Dog, Stick, Lesser Dog, Exorcism! The game has 3 distinctive final bosses. The neutral boss is a monstrous version of... This boss plays just like a Japanese bullet hell game. It's brutal, but not impossible. The genocide boss is a secret because I want you guys to experience the absolute nightmare that is genocide. But seriously, look at this! And lastly, the pacifist boss is a twisted demon-like monster, Azrael Dreamer. He steals something very important in an effort to become an omnipotent god, and it's up to you to save the world. But since it's a pacifist run, you can't kill Azrael. Well, I'm sure you could, but I never tried. I'll leave it up to you guys to figure out how to handle him. Oh, and it should be mentioned that Azrael's story is probably the most heartbreaking in this entire game. One thing that gives this game an absurd amount of bonus points from me is how good the soundtrack is. Now sure, a lot of games have ridiculously good soundtracks, so what makes Undertale so special? Well, to be honest, it has that retro charm to it, but with a modern twist. This is purely personal preference at this point, but I've always felt that the older games have had better soundtracks because of how well composed they are, considering whatever limitations the producers had. Now, I don't know anything about music production, but giving something like the music character and personality just makes it shine in my book. Music's freaking awesome! Now that's what I'm talking about! This music is awesome! The whole soundtrack is freaking fantastic! A lot of gamers seem to base the goodness of a game solely on its graphical appeal these days. For me, and I'm sure many others, if a game is fun, pleasant to look at, and has a killer soundtrack, chances are I'll love the game. Something interesting about Undertale though, GameFAQs apparently has this annual Game of the Year contest that goes on where users of the forum can vote for what their favorite game is. And when it came down to it, Undertale was going up against Ocarina of Time to take the finals. Talk about David and Goliath, am I right? Well, surprisingly, Undertale beat out Ocarina of Time. And this Nintendo Gamer Facebook group that I'm in absolutely lost their shit. What? Ocarina of Time lost out to Undertale? Well, this game sucks now. That has never happened, ever. And in case you want proof that this was a real Ocarina of Time cartridge, we'll check this out. TV's not on. The thing about this is that while Ocarina of Time is very good, its time in the limelight has pretty much come and gone. Gamers know Ocarina of Time inside out, leaving very little to find very interesting. Undertale, on the other hand, is still fairly new, and every day more and more people find themselves captivated by the game. It's really charming and incredibly interesting, which is why more gamers said that Undertale was better. At the core of each game, Ocarina of Time is better. That goes without saying. It had a full development team and is considered to be the best Zelda of all time. But Undertale is currently swimming in the warmth of the limelight, and that's okay too. And even still, Undertale has quite a bit of replay value, as the story supposedly changes up depending on how you act. Did I just... I didn't mean to kill him. I'm not gonna like this. We have to kill everybody. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Tori, no. Tori, please don't do this. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No. This, my hand, will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the white one red. Genocide has a strict set of rules that if you do not follow, you'll get shoved back into a neutral playthrough. I say strict, but really you just need to make sure that every monster dies in every area before you reach that area's boss. Now, the genocide route isn't just the same story with mass homicide. As you progress through with the killing of everything, the way NPCs treat you changes, the way the story develops changes, and most importantly, some of your boss fights change dramatically. For example, in a neutral or pacifist route, you'll face off against Undyne. But in a genocide run, you fight Undyne the Undying. Or as I like to call her, Bitchface the Bullshit. Now why do I call her that? Well, that's simple. It's because she has a resting bitch face, and her fight is bullshit! Another example is Metaton. He unleashes his ultimate form against you, Metaton Neo. Now after the bullshit I dealt with earlier, I figured this fight would test me even more. But no, Metaton just can't resist collecting as many awards as possible, and he has just won the nomination for Most Disappointing Boss Fight in 2015. Trust me when I say that he is too damn easy. Even easier than the town bicycle. That was a hooker joke. And like I said earlier, I'm not spoiling who the final boss is. But because I like you guys, I'm gonna give you a fair warning. Go in knowing that you will not win in your first 30 tries. Because, you know, this. God damn it! So, Undertale. Come on guys, do I really have to rate this one? Undertale is a fantastic game. Beyond the appealing retro aesthetic lies a deep and engaging RPG. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but the gameplay is fun and it has an interesting take on what an action RPG is. With a slew of well-written, lovable characters, an interesting combat system, and multiple ways to affect the world around you, whether good or bad, Undertale is easily one of my favorites. I'm not even kidding, top 5 games of all time, Undertale's probably number 3. Anyway, it is legitimately difficult for me to find anything to really criticize without sounding nitpicky. I mean, the game is truly well done. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. The love that it gets is incredibly well deserved. If you don't have Undertale yet, I recommend getting it. Thank you guys so much for watching my Undertale review. If you guys liked the video, consider subscribing to Taimythix. Give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, or feel free to leave a comment to let me know what you think. If you guys missed it, I did a 3-part insight video on the Five Nights at Freddy's series. You can check out the first part by clicking here. And I did finally beat Sans. You can click here to check out the highlights of the stream. Anyway, that's enough outro jibber jabber. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.